Hello, Michael.
Hello there, Robin. How are you? Long time no see from Mr.
I know.
Attractive Man. You're like Judith Chalmers at the moment, all over the place.
Uh, we missed a week with my international travels up to the north of England,
Seen the Rose Girls.
seeing the Rose Girls. Yeah, we can talk about that in a minute if you like.
Well,
So,
I'm sure we're going to hear all about your Burnley trip because it's just the way you're going to do it. And you're going to tell us all about it after that long message you sent about it all. But we're going to hear about it anyway, of how you ended up in Burnley.
so much better.
Um, but
It's so much better when it's told in person rather than in
it
writing.
is.
The
It's
good
Technicolor.
news is Bill rewrote my note and added some photos.
He did. That Bill.
That Bill, yes,
That
that
Bill.
Bill. Move your head.
That Bill. Oh, shit,
That's
wrong way. That one.
Big Bill at Burnley. Yes, he did. He
Look, his
rewrote.
eyebrows are moving. Look,
I know
he's got an eyebrow moving.
he has.
What the flipping heck have I done there? Um,
Yeah,
oh,
he rewrote my story and added some photos. I mean, it's like write your own story, Bill.
well, we've got to start off with the success, haven't we?
The success, the
A
cush,
success, the Kush.
the cush. Move your
What
head.
can you
Move
say?
your head.
What can you say?
Move your
Yeah,
head.
sorry, Kush.
There you go. Cush.
Kush.
Cush is no longer bottom. Cush has got
No,
himself
I,
out of the wooden spoon slot.
yeah, we've been looking at that every week, thinking, bless him, he's done well, he's doing well, and now he's done well. He's not only second, he's not second bottom, he's third bottom. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
what can
he's above Tom.
yeah, what can you say? You know, he's taken
And
away.
he's
We've got the wooden
honing
spoon
in
back.
on Mandeep.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, this is impressive stuff, Kush.
yeah.
Look at
He's
that.
doing
And who
really
else
well.
has he got to play? He potentially got Darwin and Virgil tonight. So he could get a couple more points tonight,
To
possibly.
say, all right, so say he got 10 points tonight. Where would that take him further up?
And that
One,
would
three,
take
four, 1, 4. That
him
would that take him another point up?
another place up. Yeah, well, it depends what Mandeep's got. He's got potential. Oh, he's got
Nothing.
potentially Salah as captain. Although I think Salah's injured.
Oh right.
I think.
Yeah, well, we're talking about him, weren't they? But he's not red. He's not red on there yet. But his other
No,
player,
he's not red.
Zabzibar.
He's not red. No, you're right. You are absolutely right.
Well,
So
well, we've done Kush there, so that's good for him.
that's enough of the cush. There's no
Yeah.
point talking about the boys at the top because we're actually in between game weeks. This is the last game tonight of Liverpool versus Luton is tonight. Liverpool got 10 injuries, so maybe Luton are going to pull off a remarkable victory to make it very interesting at the top of the real Premier League table.
Well,
Because you have Liverpool top on what 57 points, City on 56, and Arsenal on 55.
seven.
Arsenal with the best goal difference.
I'm just happy that Villa have gone above Spurs. So
We got a new we got a new song everywhere we go now, which is basically who scored all the goals against whoever, who scored all the goals against Burnley, who scored all the goals against Burnley. Half the effing team did.
I still like that one about that Chelsea was singing against Villa the other week. What I can't remember what it was now. We're shit away, but we're beating you or whatever it was. What was it there? You're so shit that even we're beating you away or whatever it is. And it was some great song they were singing. I have to look
Oh
at
yeah,
it.
yeah. I love football fans. I mean, the Arsenal fans up at Burnley at the weekend were in the corner, and they were the only ones you could hear because Burnley are obviously just giving up the ghost, right? They know they're getting relegated, and
Well,
so the Arsenal fans are singing some not very nice songs about Burnley. But then again, Burnley's not really an attraction. They were singing some not very nice things about their team. Yeah, it was quite funny actually, quite funny. So, do you want me
you
to tell
froze
you
for a
about
second.
Burnley then?
That was quite, that was quite worrying. You froze for a second there, and didn't have a very complimentary image, freezing. But hey ho. Yes, go on. Tell us right from the beginning. all about Burnley and why you tell us about that. We'll show you tramp coat while you're doing it.
Well, my tramp coat, yeah. Well, it was my second dinner with a billionaire in last week, which, I mean, that's some going. I had to slum it on other days. But so anyway, Bill in the picture there,
Yep.
he vaguely knows this guy called John Wagner, who happens to be one of the owners, director of Burnley. And he's an American guy, owns a vineyard in California. And he flew over to go to the game. He doesn't go to that many games. And as part of going to that, Bill managed to get he and I a ticket. Yeah, I know, it's really boring. And so he bought us dinner at a Michelin-starred tapas bar in Manchester on the Friday night, which was very nice. There were 10 of us. Of the 10, 8 were Arsenal fans, which he'd invited. They'd come from, I think they'd flown in on his private jet from Los Angeles, and a couple came from New Zealand. They were also Arsenal supporters, and I think they were golfers. They'd been playing golf. Anyway, and enough of that nonsense. We drive up in their car on Saturday to go to Burnley from Manchester in the morning. And we're driving through a suburb of Manchester and it's all shuttered. And I'm like, oh, God, this is not a very nice area. And then I noticed that it's actually because it's the Sabbath and it's the Hasidic Jews are out. So it's obviously the Jewish quarter. So, of course, the shops are closed. We get to Burnley and we got the same scenario, boarded shops. But this case, this was not the Jewish area. This is just Burnley. To which one of the Americans said, "Why didn't we stay in Burnley last night?" To which John Wagner, the director of Burnley, goes, "There's nothing to do in Burnley. There's only one hotel we're staying in, and I think the Arsenal Football Club had taken that over."
And this is a bloke who runs a club saying how shit Burnley is.
Yes. So we drive
Luckily, I assume he thought you were very could keep a secret.
I'll be sending.
He obviously thought you were very safe, and you wouldn't tell anyone that he thought Burnley was a shithole.
I think he'll be watching this podcast. So anyway, we drive in to 2-car convoy, and I'm in the first car in the back seat, and we drive in to the car park, to which a young northern lad with his security jacket on and questionable teeth. He had some teeth, and the ones he had weren't very attractive. He might as well not have those as well. He goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "You're not on the list." So I'm in the back thinking, mate, you're about to lose your job. And the old, do you not know who I am line came straight to my mind. But to be fair, John Wagner was very calm. He's actually a very, very nice man. He was very calm in his 70s, and he goes, "Just please call the office and just double check." And the guy comes back and goes, yeah, you can come in. So we both got let in. But that was an hour before the director's box where we were having luncheon opened. So we went to the Sean Dyche pub. Now, for those of you not familiar with Burnley,
the Sean Dyche pub.
It is called the Sean Dyche pub. He was the previous manager of Burnley. So there is a pub about 200 yards down the road dedicated to Sean Dyche. And there's a big sign, the big pub signs we have in England outside has got Sean Dyche in kind of Henry VIII type robing, but it is Sean Dyche. And it's called the Dyche pub. So we went in, and you have that vision of going into a pub where really they know you're not from here, right? Clearly we weren't from there, even me in my tramp coat. So instead
your
of
tramp coat was definitely from there.
Yeah, instead of going silent and looking at us, it was as if we'd swam into a pool of sharks that had already fed. They actually took no notice of us. We went to the bar, we bought our fancy southern drinks, paid lovely northern prices.
Pound
Uh,
20.
your £1.20 for a pint. And we stood there with our pints, chatting away in our foreign accents, American, south of England accents. And they completely ignored us. I was disappointed because the night before, John had told us about the rosé girls. Apparently, there are 3 girls that go in there on match day and drink pints of rosé. I was so excited to meet the rosé girls. I saw photographs of them, but they weren't there when we were there.
I'm
So anyway,
surprised Bill had the pint of lager in his hand. I thought he'd go and say, "Hey,
it was
John,
actually cider.
oh, was it?"
Bill and I had a pint of cider. The others had a number of them had Guinness, which I really didn't fancy at 11 o'clock in the morning. Then we went off back to the club and we got our passes and we went up to the chairman's box in the executive lounge. Lots of executive lounge, but we were in the chairman's box lounge where we had duck confit for lunch, which was absolutely superb. And we drank fine
No,
wine.
by the way, we did realise that you were in the chairman's bit because if you look where's my hand gone? If you look, your actual lanyard says chairman.
Does it?
Yeah. So we gathered by the photo that you were.
Well, I can't. No, you can't see that. I can't see it anyway. Yeah. So anyway, so we were in there, and before the game, a gentleman took us down to pitch side where we got to sit in, where the subs and the manager stands, and he told us about the pitch. And apparently, the pitch cost £3 million. And looking at the way I wouldn't let Burnley play on it if it cost that much, to be honest.
Is that a really expensive pitch then, or is that normal price?
I think it's starting to get for normal price for Premier League. Because somebody said, well, there's one way of making more money. Why don't you run concerts? I said, we just can't. We can't build a stand on the pitch because, a stage on the pitch because it would just ruin it. And it's a £3 million every time we have to relay the pitch.
Bloody hell.
I know.
So I did notice the other day when Spurs were playing, it must be something to do with them doing concerts and whatever, but their pitch is really high. At the side, there's big drop offs at the side. So that must be something to do with them being pull the pitch in and out, is it?
It is. Well, yes. So with Burnley and the same at Arsenal, I've seen that as well. The pitches tend to do that. It does go up from where the manager stands. There is a slope up to the pitch. That's normal, I think, for undersaw heating and all of those things. The Spurs pitch, there's 2 pitches. So when you see the football, underneath the pitch is an American football AstroTurf pitch. Right. So if there's concerts, they bring that pitch out and pop that on top, and then they can have the concerts without ruining the pitch. Right. So it's very clever. When they built that stadium, they did build it in mind of having the American football. That's why they actually have a bigger at one end. They have a much bigger changing rooms because obviously American football teams turn up with about 300 players each, as opposed to a squad of 20. In fact, I'm going to Spurs tomorrow night. They've got a casino night, and my friend who's a season ticket holder, he obviously couldn't find anybody else to take, so he's taking me.
You're rattling out all your friends in one podcast, aren't you? Bill and this one.
Bill, Anton, and my new billionaire friend John Wagner.
Very nice.
So anyway, so we went down to watch the game, and Bill said to me, no cheering if Arsenal score. I said, of course, Bill. I sat in my seat, which happened to be heated in the director's box, so my bottom was lovely and warm. Arsenal scored within about 5 minutes, and I'm out of the seat. Get in there! Looking around at everybody else who was looking pretty miserable, apart from the other group of Arsenal fans that were with John's guests. They all remained calm, but they looked at me and did the but I did so the 5 times we scored, could have scored 10 more, but the 5 times we scored, I was giving it large. I was loving listening to the Burnley fans around us. They were going, "Oh, that's Saka. He's pretty good, isn't he?" And like, do you think I can't do a Burnley accent. Do you think we'll ever get the ball? And the Arsenal fans are all singing, who scored against Burnley? Half the effing team did. And you live in a shithole. Um,
Said the owner.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So Burnley, it was a fantastic trip, but the point I was trying to make in the note thing I wrote was more about how away fans are treated on a serious note, because television controls who plays who and when they play, and the TV uh, guys do not give a damn about the fans at all. So this Saturday night, I'll be at Arsenal Newcastle, which doesn't kick off till 8 p.m. If you've come down from Newcastle, the game's not going to finish till gone 10. How are you going to get home? I
Oh,
mean,
the lift, walk it.
walk it, yeah. But
Yeah,
so
hard.
trying to get back from Burnley, originally we were going Burnley to Manchester and we were getting the 7:15 train direct to Euston. No problem at all. We wanted to get that train because Chelsea were playing Manchester City in Manchester and their kickoff was 5:30. We wanted to be on that train before any Chelsea fans left City Stadium, because going back with all the Arsenal, Chelsea could have been a bit of a punch up, which is not what I do these days. And anyway, that train was cancelled. All the other trains were cancelled, meaning no Chelsea fans could get home. So the Arsenal fans, we all left the stadium and hot-footed it for Burnley station, where we were packed like sardines on the station. Little train chugs in, little local train. We all pile in. That in itself was hilarious because we're halfway between Preston and Burnley, and there's a guy sitting there, an old rocker, and he's got his pints of beer for his early Saturday night. And he goes, we pull him to Blackburn. He goes, keep my seat. I'm just going to go and have a piss. And he jumps out, and someone sits in his seat, and everyone's laughing, going, well, he's not getting back on, is he? The next minute, he comes bowling back on. He knew, obviously, that this was a toilet break stop. So then we all trundle on. We trundle on to Preston. At Preston, we changed to Crewe. At Crewe, we changed to get a train to Houston. Then I get a train from London back to St Albans, and I'm home by about 1 a.m, having left the stadium at 5:05. So I really feel for away fans.
The
What?
owner of Burnley got in his helicopter. The owner of Burnley got in his helicopter, flew down to St Albans, and stayed in the hotel half a mile from your house, and went.
I the funny thing was, on the Friday night when we were having dinner, he said something about his wife, and he said, "Oh yeah, she came from St Albans, so I probably know her."
You've probably done more than know her.
Well, I think she'd be around my age. Maybe I even went to school with her or college. Who knows? We're here. But anyway, I didn't
Kids
mention
look
that.
like. Have you seen his kids?
Yeah,
Her kids.
I've seen. Yeah, they don't look anything like me. So anyway, so that was Burnley. Just a couple of points, Michael.
That's the
Uh,
Burnley experience. Thank God that's out of the way. Well done.
it's out of the way. I promise never to talk about it again, and I promise not to go to any more away games up north unless I'm invited by owners of clubs. Which
And you can fly by Bill's helicopter. Why didn't Bill take his helicopter?
Bill should have taken his helicopter. I know. You know what? He's been a bit mean on the fuel.
Has he? Nah,
Yeah.
bless him.
So the other thing is, okay, so game week 25 finishes tonight. We'll do a report, send that out tomorrow. Game week 26 starts on Saturday. Now, game week 26 is a short week. There are 4 teams missing: Liverpool, Chelsea, because they're playing on Sunday in the Coca-Cola Cup or whatever it's called.
No.
And Spurs and Luton are not playing. So people are going to have to adjust their games, because what's interesting about week 26 is it is actually European Cup first leg of round 16. So weeks 26, 27 is the European Cup. And in fact,
In all of it,
I could share my screen. Michael, like that. Oh, that's our team. I'm going to come back to that. So European Cup round of 16. JP is playing Ryan. Oh yeah, no, it's Michel versus Julian, not you. Who are you playing? You're not in it, are you?
Yeah, I'm playing Jeremy.
Oh yes, you're playing Jeremy down there. Frankie and Stu, Rishi and Ollie. That's a Spurs v Arsenal match. Gaz is playing. That's playing Holly, your daughter, your lovely daughter. Marley versus Steve, and Neil versus Fran. Fran, who's down the bottom, still manages to be in the European Cup. It's 2 legs. Usual rules apply, so we'll see what happens there. We've got our Diamond Dogs team.
Who's
Oh,
doing better than Bill? Who's doing better than Robin? Sorry,
oh no, I'm rubbish.
just thought I'd point that
At
out.
the moment, though, to be fair, going into tonight, last game, I've got a green arrow, but that happened to me last week, and then it turned red. I've not had a red arrow in game weeks for a long time.
You mean a green arrow?
A green arrow. Yes, I'm just so used to red arrows. Uh, our experimental team, by the way, the one we picked at the beginning of the season,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the long throw is now rock bottom.
Officially bottom. Kush has moved off. It
Kush
is
has
now.
moved off, and
So
we
we're
are now.
who's presenting us with the wooden spoon?
Yeah, we're going to present ourselves with a wooden spoon.
I'll have to.
Actually, to be honest,
Yeah.
it'll save me having to buy one.
No, I'll accept it. Thank you.
They'll accept it on behalf of us.
And don't
And
forget,
then
it has to be the biggest one that you've ever bought.
this is our Diamond Dogs team for this week. Where are we in the league now, Michael?
Oh, we are. Hold on. Let's have a look.
Too bad, are we?
We're about middle-ish, I think. Diamond Dogs 53rd.
Okay, not too bad.
No,
We've made some adjustments. We've put left Alexander Arnold and Udogi on the bench because both of them are injured for at least another week.
but yeah, they're meant to be back at the beginning of next month.
We put Richarlison on the bench because Spurs aren't playing this weekend, but we don't want to get rid of him. So we've brought in the young Manchester United striker, probably at the point when he's going to stop scoring, but he has scored in the last 6 consecutive
Bearing
games.
in mind that he hadn't scored at all when we put him in at the beginning of the season. He didn't
I
score,
know.
didn't score, then we got rid of him, then he starts scoring.
And now
So yeah,
he comes
anyone who's
back,
got him in now, probably a good time to take him out.
he's going to stop scoring. And
Yeah.
we brought He-Chan into midfield. So we took out Nunes here because he's potentially injured and they're not playing in this game week anyway. And we took out Palmer because Chelsea are not playing in this game week. So we brought in He-Chan, who's actually home to Sheffield United. So there's a good chance of some points there. We're sticking with Haaland as captain. Everybody is. But on that point, people must have been really worried until the 71st minute last night because in a double game week, Haaland had not scored until the 71st minute.
I was literally about to put a text out going, bloody typical. All those, including me, that had captained him that week. And then he scored. So I had to delete
I know, a load of people triple captained him.
Actually,
which was so they would really have been panicking.
Yeah.
I mean, where are we in terms of league? So in terms of the league, as you say, we're 53rd, but James is top, but he's extended his lead now. I think he was Haaland triple captain, which is why he's on 90 points. Yeah, 30, and he's got
Haaland triple cap. Oh, I mean, you still get 30, but it's a shame it's on a double week.
It could easily have been 60 or 70 points.
You'd expect 30 on a normal week, but you'd have expected more on a double week. But hey ho.
Yeah. And he's got Jota, but Jota won't play tonight. And as he's already played once, he can't put anybody else in. So he's got no points coming out of tonight. And I think, Frankie is in second. I don't think Frankie got anybody tonight. He's got Kanate and Darwin possibly. So, he could reduce the gap a little bit, but yeah, there you are. So basically, Jim is 20 points.
Sorry, before you go on, have you just seen his team? Jimbo's All Stars. I've just looked at all the other leagues he's in. He's first in ours, second in another one, third in another one, second in another one, first in 2 more, and then he's 674th in the FPL pod.
Yeah. What is he? He's in the top 9,000 overall in the thing, which is not bad. Everybody inside the top 10,000 is playing really well.
I'm just going to check that this one where he's second. He's not actually just two players in that team. Oh no, there's still 13 in that league. He's doing well in every league he's in.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, isn't he? I'm glad the bloke above him's not in our league. So there you go, Michael. I don't think there's any more nonsense to be discussed this week, is there?
No, the only thing we've got to do is our new little venture that we sort of mentioned last time that you've sort of forgotten about, but is who's going into room 101. You can pick someone to go in room 101 this week. They can obviously come out and go back in again. So who would you like to put in room 101?
I didn't think I was picking this week. I thought you were.
No, we can both pick each week.
Oh, I see. Oh, God, I haven't even thought about it.
Well, I'll tell you who I'm going to put. I'm obviously going to put you in because you've had Burnley, but seeing we had enough of Burnley. But the other thing I will put in, which I think is Burnley orientated, is him.
Oh, the boy Vincent. The boy Vincent had to sit in the stands when we were up there.
I'd put him in because I think he's on his last legs. He's got to go.
No, they're good. No. They will not fire him, even if they go down. No.
Don't tell me the CEO said he won't fire him. He's been sending him brilliant texts, and they're on great terms.
You have the full backing of the board.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they said they actually love him, and no, their plan at the moment is they are before the game. They've done some analysis. Their analysts have worked it out, and they think there's a fine chance of them, a small chance of them staying up. So there's still hope for them, and they love Vincent. The crowd love Vincent
because he wears the baseball cap, and they're American.
Yeah, I know. That's what it is. Yeah.
So have you got anyone to put in 101 or not?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Bill. I'll put Bill in. No, Bill's going in room 101 because he's spilled a whole glass of red wine all over.
Hang on. He can also go in because he didn't buy you a bloody drink.
No, he didn't. Look at it. He's got one and I don't have one.
You got none. But then again, that cider was too expensive for you with that coat. You needed White Lightning or some Thunderbolt like cider.
I got my tramp coat on. Yeah, Bill's going in for spilling a whole glass of red wine all over me.
Right, and then there's one other thing. One other person this week who's must need a mention because of what he's done in the past. Little Odgie, Roy Hodgson. He's off. Bye. He's gone. Bless him, and he.
No, but he'll be back. He'll be back at Palace next season.
No, he's Liverpool.
Guaranteed.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's got to Liverpool. But anyway,
he was at Liverpool, so yeah, he could go back there and recreate the glory days under him.
With Fat Frank at the chip van up front.
And the good thing is we've not said anything about Scousers this week or Everton, so it's great. It's good. And Michael, I think that's it. I think we need to say goodbye.
I think if we actually ever do talk about Liverpool again, I think I've got to do this, haven't I? If we do, I've got to go like that. Then no one will recognise me if we do. If I do that, no one will recognise me if we talk about Liverpool. I won't get beaten up by Derek or anyone else, will I?
I love it. I love it. Who's that? Where's Michael gone?
Oh, the hat goes round as well. Look.
Right. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week at some point. And can you remember where that button is?